Someone will just meet you and ask you, do you speak Swahili? Like, I'm from Ghana. Most people see Africa as a country, staying in their head that Africans sleep on top of trees, like on desert and stuff. Habibi, how do they get this money? Isn't Africa poor? Like, I was like, no, you are actually getting this wrong. I was like, it's just a stereotype. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's only positive vibes over here. I go by the name Ghana Girl, but my actual name is Matilda Inoku. I am actually doing this video because of a customer that I came across today, and I think it's high time we as Africans tell our story as it is and not as the world wants it to be, not as the media wants it to be. This customer came to our showroom. I don't have a showroom where I work, okay? We actually sell luxurious furniture, and this customer tends to look for something that is like contemporary, like something simple and less expensive. I was just taking the customer through our items, telling him the price, and you know what? The moment he came in, he was like, I am just looking. To be honest with you, I can see these items are luxurious and I cannot afford this. But he came in with his 2 children, 2 boys. But I want to show my kids what is around here. I want them to explore. And I was like, okay, that's fine. You know, when a customer comes in and tells you this, it's way better. It saves you stress. Like, you genuinely show the person around whatever it is. And then he said, okay, I'm just passing by, I just want to show my kids around. I said, okay. So I was just telling him the price and all that, and he said, oh, this is very beautiful, can I take a picture? I said, I'm sorry, this is the company's policy, we can't allow that. And he said, okay, I respect that. That guy was very nice. He's an Indian with 2 kids. Yeah. So as he was just going through the stuff, he asked me, who are your topmost customers? Like, which country are they from? And I was like, to be honest with you, Africans are our topmost customers. And I'm not saying we serve only Africans. Like, most people who are buying from us, of course we have locals, Indians, like every other nationality, but the topmost that get to buy that always buys from us are African. Let me say, like 98% of our customers are Africans. So he was like thrilled. He was like, how do they get this money? Isn't Africa poor? Like, I was like, no, you are actually getting this wrong. And I loved his eldest son. He probably looked like 12, 13, 14. Immediately he said, isn't Africa poor? The boy said no. He shook his head and was like, it's just a stereotype. And I was like, that is a very smart boy. Like, it is a stereotype. And I told him, I shook. Is it shook? I nodded, yeah. Is it nod? Yeah. I nodded my head and I told him, yeah, listen to your son. He's telling you the right thing. Like, he is right. It is a complete stereotype. And he asked me, okay, where are these people normally working? I said, they live in Africa. They work in Africa. They have businesses and all that. What do they come to do here? I told them they mostly come for tourism and to buy just that. And this guy was amazed and he was surprised. It seemed like his boy knew a lot about Africa. This guy has to be a businessman in the future in Africa. So this brings me to why I made this video. It's not really Africa. Like, they think it's Africa, but it's not Africa, okay? So the first thing I'll talk about here is poverty. Like, when these people talk about poverty, they mean the poverty as in poverty. Like, when you have nothing to eat, nowhere to sleep, and all that. And people even have this stereotype in their head, this thing in their head that Africans sleep on top of trees, like on desert and stuff. Maybe Africa is as poor as every other continent. Africa is very rich. Why am I even comparing Africa to countries? Like, yeah, Africa is a continent. Yeah, why am I even comparing it to countries, by the way? Yeah, so Africa is very rich. On the media, if you are into business, you will know that Africa is rich. But what the media makes people feel like is that Africa is poor. You know, most Africans who go out there to buy things, buy it like direct cash, like instantly. They pay instantly cash. Like Africans are rich. Like Africans are rich, rich, rich. Another thing, another misconception about Africa is like hunger. Why are we even having this conversation? Why are we even having this conversation? Like, this conversation should not be on the table. When you come to Ghana, even as poor as you are, you cannot sleep with hunger. No matter how poor you can be in Ghana, you can never sleep empty stomach, except if you're lazy. Like food is not something like food. No, there is no hunger in Africa. That's what I said, except if you're lazy. You can easily get food. Like, we are not supposed to be discussing about this. The next one. The next misconception about Africa is conflict. I think this is because of the media focusing on a particular region that is having a particular conflict. But when it comes to Africa is very peaceful. Africa is very peaceful. Like, let me say, if you are supposed to rate something out of something, you're supposed to use the larger part of that particular whole to rate whatever it is you're rating. So if you go to one or two places and there are conflicts, it doesn't mean that it's like there is chaos in all of Africa. Ghana, for instance, is one of the most peaceful countries in the world. Togo, like all these countries, all these African countries, like we are very peaceful, very, very peaceful, and we are also welcoming. Our hospitality is just top notch. Like, I remember when I was a child in Ghana, when I was living in Ghana during my childhood days, when we see guests among us, we try to give them the best. My grandmother, if we have guests in our house, that day he will give the best plate that he's been hiding, the best cups, the best food that we have not prepared in so many years. Like, our hospitality level is just top notch. Another thing is people see Africa as like Africa is undeveloped and all that. Like I said before, some people even think we sleep on the trees. Some people think we don't even have internet. I remember once someone asked me if we have internet in Ghana, and I was like yeah. So some people think we are from, I don't know which parts they think we are really from. Like, I can't imagine. I really can't imagine. But Africa is not undeveloped. Like, there are villages in Africa, but there are cities in Africa which are developed, like highly developed countries, like highly developed cities in Africa. So if you really want to see Africa, I think you should be visiting the place by yourself. And one more thing, most people see Africa as a country. I think I'm beginning to join these people, okay? Most people see Africa as a country, which is totally wrong. Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent, just as Europe, as Asia, as like Africa is not a country. Africa has 54 countries. 54 countries. If you meet Nigerians, they are Africans. If you meet Ghanaians, they are Africans. If you meet Togolese, they are Africans. Ivorians, South Africans, Ethiopians, they are all Africans. But we are not from the same country, Habibi. We are not from the same country. Someone will just meet you and ask you, do you speak Swahili? Like, from Ghana. Being a Ghanaian, if I speak Swahili, it is possible, but you should not be asking me about Swahili. Maybe you should be asking me about Ghanaian languages. Even Ghana alone has over 200 languages that I have not even been able to. I cannot even speak 10 Ghanaian languages. Why would you ask me about Swahili? By the way, thank you very much for watching this video. And if there is something I forgot to add, just leave it in the comment section. And if there is a video you're looking up to, you want me to upload in my next, also leave it in the comment section. I'll be very glad to be reading your comments. Thank you so much, and always come back to watch me. I love you all so much. Subscribe if you haven't, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up.